as he wishes or as she wishes. Now I guess we have our first female dictator, so woke.
Dina.
That's right. We have
She
our
was
own
annoying.
Yanin Añez. But because of that, to become president means that you and your party can rob the state. That is what you are
Mm,
supposed to do, right? You
mm,
go into the government, you rob, you leave government, and then you go to jail. And that has been every single president in Peru since 1985. Like the only guy who didn't go to jail after his presidency was Merino, who may still go to jail anyway because he was
mhm,
president for like 5 days. Alan Garcia didn't go to jail right after his first term, but he went to jail after his second term. And everybody
mhm.
else has been to jail. You have Sagasti,
Jailbirds.
who some people want to send him to jail. He might not make it. He was a transitional president, but everybody else has been to jail. If you were elected president in Peru, you went to jail.
Mm,
And that's because you robbed, you stole, you really
yep.
did steal. It's not even like false charges, it's not fake news, you really did steal. So, Pedro Castillo, he found himself in a situation right when he got inaugurated, before the first cabinet was inaugurated, where he could either pick two teams. He could pick the national political party Peru Libre, or he could pick the so-called caviares, right? The leftists that come from money. They live in Europe and North America,
Right.
and then they hope to give give a little bit of what they have to Peru, right? These are people that come from the oligarchy or want to become part of the oligarchy and so on. So the main argument of them is that, look, Peru Libre is a party that stinks of cholo, they would say, right? Of indigenous, dirty peasant, people who are illiterate, who are in uneducated, who have very poor manners, right? Whereas we are, we speak many languages, we are very well educated, and we have the real technical prowess to go ahead and lead the state. You can't have some lady who milks cows like lead a ministry, like period. So in that context, Castillo decided I'm gonna listen to both a little bit, but my closest, like aides, my closest assistants, they're gonna come from my hometown of Chota in the Andes. These
Mm,
are the people that I've known since I was like a little kid, and these are the people that I'm gonna really trust.
mm.
So I believe it was his brother-in-law, became his advisor. And within a couple of weeks, $20,000 were found taped into the inside part of the toilet. You know where the water is of his office. Just $20,000 taped in the inside of the toilet bowl, not the bowl itself, but where the water reservoir is, right? And so at that moment, Pedro Castillo could have been like, "You're
Good hiding spot.
fired" or some shit like that.
Right, right.
But all he did was bring in more people from that circle, the Chota circle, they were called, right? These are people who had very little political principles or interests or inclinations, right? The Caviares have a social democratic agenda of, legalizing pot and legalizing marriage equality and abortion. I agree with all those things, right? Amen and amen. I'm not opposed to any of those things,
Right.
but I also know that the vast majority of Peruvians signed up for an economic program. And if you can prove that economic program, you can sell people on a lot of other things. They don't have to be
Yeah.
woke to be like, yeah, okay, if you're a man and you want to marry a man, whatever, who cares? But you
Now, this is
first
a planned economy.
huh?
Is the economic program something like a planned economy?
So the economic program of Peru Libre is called the popular economy with markets. That means
Okay.
that Peru does take control of some major industries in preparation for sanctions. That is
Okay.
important to know, that the Peru Libre plan, the first stage is, okay, we're taking over, and then we're immediately preparing for massive sanctions. Like
Hmm.
we know that the taking over means sanctions, so immediately take over the industries such as the agricultural businesses and the mines and the gas in order to be able to withstand sanctions. Peruvian gas, if it's able to be harnessed, has at least the potential to power Peru for 500 years. That
Jesus.
means that we wouldn't be like Cuba or Venezuela with consistent outages.